Hello, friends. Today we are going to talk about Bitcoin Cash and how to claim your Bitcoin Cash with your wallet and how to get your private key. And I also want to share that if you have trouble and if what I'm sharing with you on this video is not sufficient, then I would like to let you know that I offer cryptocurrency consultations whereby I can help you one-on-one in order to figure out how to do this safely and securely. But first I want to sing a song. Well, it's snowing down in Texas. All of the Ethernet lines are down. Well, it's snowing down in Texas, baby. All of the Ethernet lines are down. And I've been trying to sweep my Bitcoin Cash. Feeling frustrated now, I wear a frown. Ba-bum, 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 ba-dow. Wow. Joseph Daigle spamming my video. Save it, bro. It's a video about Bitcoin. Unless you can buy a car with Bitcoin. So, how to claim your Bitcoin Cash. On August 1st, 2017, if you had Bitcoin in a wallet where you have access to your private keys, you will be able to claim an equal amount of Bitcoin Cash, and since then, also Bitcoin Gold. For today's purposes, we're going to focus on Bitcoin Cash. Talk about Bitcoin Gold another day. So what is Bitcoin Cash? Bitcoin Cash is a fork of the Bitcoin network that attempted to solve a scaling problem that Bitcoin is currently experiencing by increasing each block, the size of each block. The block is a piece of the blockchain peer-to-peer public ledger, which contains the transactions that took place within the previous roughly a 10-minute period. There's been a lot of infighting, turmoil, tension amongst various groups as far as how can we solve the problem of too high of a transaction volume for the Bitcoin network, where transactions don't get included in the next block. Sometimes they don't get included in the block after that. Sometimes they don't get included for a day. And the transaction fees are up $10, $15, $17 now. So there was tension within the decentralized network of Bitcoin. There wasn't a central authority that can just say, here's how we're going to do it. So this SegWit compromise came up, which wasn't really a compromise. Some people were like, you know what, we're just going to fork Bitcoin, and we're going to give every single person that has Bitcoin an equal amount of Bitcoin Cash, and we're going to have our miners and our network and our nodes follow this other blockchain. Here's the current one, the first one. It forked, and when that happened, everybody that has Bitcoin in a public address, in a wallet where you have access to the private keys, has an equal amount of Bitcoin Cash, which is now worth around $1,500. So if you had one Bitcoin, which is now worth around $17,000, you'd also have one Bitcoin Cash, which is worth around $1,500, and you would have the equivalent of around $18,500. Pretty cool. A lot of people are like, what the hell, Bitcoin's so hard, I've managed to get a wallet and get some, now it's worth a ton of money. I have no idea what the hell a private key is or how to get my Bitcoin Cash. Well, let's talk about that here shortly. And if it still confuses you and you still have trouble, then I do offer one-on-one cryptocurrency consultations. They cost $50 an hour. But hey, if that's what it costs in order to acquire and keep safe and secure $500 or $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000 worth of Bitcoin Cash, then that's a good investment for you. Okay, so this is why I advise people to use wallets whereby you have access to your private key. Specifically where no one else has access to your private key, because they can take your money, or they could take your money. But you should be the only one that has access to your private key, and you should be able to access that private key. Some wallets it's kind of tricky. Other wallets are easier. That's why I recommend Electrum. It makes it really easy. So there's a variety of different wallets, and the trick is to find your private key. Electrum, you just go to Tools, I think, Export Private Key. Blockchain.info actually is a really simple way to acquire this Bitcoin Cash and send it to a Bitcoin Cash address really easily. So if you have a wallet with blockchain.info, just follow their steps. I think it's under settings or tools, and it's already there. It shows you how much you have, and it sends all at once to another wallet. Other wallets like Airbitz let you do this, but it gets a little trickier. So what I would recommend is you Google like access private keys or export private keys with the name of your wallet, or how do I export private keys with this wallet, or even how do I claim Bitcoin Cash with this wallet. And more often than not, there's a tutorial from that company about how to do that. So basically there's just simply 2 steps. Well, there's an extra step if you got to figure out how to do it in the first place. You got to do some research, but if it's a wallet, you already know how to get your private key, or you find out how to get your private key. Step 1 is obtain that private key. The private key is this secret code. It's a key that gives you access to the Bitcoin that are associated with the public address. So if you have this private key, you have access to the Bitcoin that's associated with that address. So get that private key, and then the next thing to do is import that private key into another wallet. So there's a phone wallet called Coinomi that I use. Be sure you write down your seed and your encryption password somewhere safe and secure. Do this with every single wallet. Try to make it as idiot-proof as possible. Back up your wallet file, write down the seed, write down your password, export the private keys if you can. So Coinomi's one. There's also a Bitcoin Cash official wallet. I think the website's bitcoincash.org. This is a wallet that'll be on your hard drive. Just go to bitcoincash.org and then click on wallet. So yeah, they have wallets there. So actually, there's a whole list of wallets. I've heard good things about Electron Cash. Is this not the main Bitcoin website? There's a name for it. Let me get that for you because that's important. Bitcoin Cash wallet. So find that private key, and then you'll import it, or you'll sweep the private key into a Bitcoin Cash wallet. Bitcoin.com also has a really good wallet for Bitcoin and for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin.com is owned by Roger Ver, who's very supportive and helped spearhead the Bitcoin Cash effort. So wallets, Ledger, I guess Electron Cash would be a good one to use for your hard drive. Yeah, that's probably what I would recommend. It's much like Electron Cash. So step 1, find that private key. Where do I find it? Got to Google it, go to your settings, tools. Don't share that private key with anyone. If you can, don't send it over Facebook Messenger, or if you're like sending it to yourself because you have a wallet on your phone or something, try to send it through an encrypted mail service like Hushmail if you can. So then you'll get your private key, you'll pull up your wallet, you'll say add Bitcoin Cash or import key or sweep private keys, and then you'll put it in your Bitcoin Cash wallet and you'll have access to both your Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash. So, anything else to cover? No, I don't know how to do it on every single wallet, but most wallets you can access your private key. So if you have trouble or if you want help stepping it through, one quick thing, make sure you have the Bitcoin Cash address copied and selected whenever you send from your Bitcoin wallet, whenever you import it. Now, what I meant to say was actually in blockchain.info and some of these wallets that have programming to allow you to send that Bitcoin Cash, make sure you have a Bitcoin Cash address, because the Bitcoin address and the Bitcoin Cash public address look exactly the same. Some wallets like blockchain.info, I was really impressed with what they had put together. It reminds you that you need to make sure you have a Bitcoin.cash address. But a quick pro tip, something that I do every time I copy and paste a public address for any cryptocurrency, in order to verify that I have the right one, because sometimes addresses will get queued up in your clipboard, or maybe you didn't copy it correctly, and different programs are kind of convoluted when it comes to that. You look at the first 2 number or letters in the public address and the last 2. So when you paste it in your wallet to send, go back to the source of it where you're trying to receive it and double check the first 2 and the last 2. Just a pro tip. It's saved my ass many times, because I once sent a shitload of Ethereum back when Ethereum was worth next to nothing to to the wrong address. Bitcoin most often catches it unless it's a Bitcoin Cash address, I believe. So that's it. Both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, there's two, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold. They're a good hedge against one another too, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. All right, so that's my piece. I want to let you know also I do consultations. So if everything that I shared, which I try to make it as simple as possible, if it's still like way over your head, that's okay. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are pretty damn complicated, and they're going to get easier and easier. Sooner or later, it'll be like using PayPal, and even shortly thereafter, you won't even know that you're using the Bitcoin network or cryptocurrencies or blockchain technology. You'll just be interacting with the global financial system just the same as you do now, maybe with a card or whatever. So I can help you, step you through it. If you have a particular wallet, I'll be sure to do the research and understand how to do that before we get on the phone, and make it an efficient call for you. So you can sign up here if you need help with that, or watch the video again. And again, there's two steps. Find out how to get your private key in your Bitcoin wallet, and then copy that private key and import it or sweep it into your Bitcoin Cash wallet. And that, my friends, is how you get access to your Bitcoin Cash. Happy crypto. Peace.